anybody who steps onto a yoga mat is looking for a transformation of some kind. It could be that they're looking for presence. I don't feel like I'm present enough in my life. It could be that it's something very practical. I feel pain in my body. I feel out of alignment in some kind of way. It could be a relationship. I'm in pain in a relationship in my life, or I'm in pain because I'm not in a relationship in my life. Wondering how I can change and align myself so I could have a better relationship in my life. Whatever the transformation is that people are looking for, we can find it on a yoga mat. A student asked me once, how does change happen, actually? And I thought that to be a very profound question. I'd like to put it to each of you. How does actual transformation take place from a spiritual perspective, from a medical scientific perspective?
Well, I can share only from personal transformation. There certainly may be other ways as well, but the way that I've experienced it is not about taking that which you have and transforming it into something else. That which is there, there's nothing wrong with it. So many times people talk about annihilating the ego or doing battle with my emotions or fighting with my anger. These sorts of words that we use that imply that there's something in me that is inherently wrong, evil, bad. And then there's another part in me that is the inner goodness. And the goodness needs to fight the inner badness. And assuming that it fights it well, we vanquish the badness and we win. That has never been a metaphor that has worked well for me. And one of the reasons is that anytime there's a battle going on inside, there's a lot of anxiety. I mean, conflict is anxiety producing. Wars are stressful. Even if it's a movie you've seen 20 times, you know the good guys win. Nonetheless, watching the battle causes your pulse to go up, your blood pressure goes up. And the other aspect of that is that regardless of who wins, you're sleeping with the loser. I mean, if I vanquish my ego, let's say, where exactly does it go? I mean, is it going to crawl into Bruce's bed in the night? Right? No, you're no longer welcome here. Find a new bed. So Bruce, Tommy, somebody's going to wake up with my ego in their bed. No. My ego is still in my bed. I may have crushed it into submission, but it's still in me. There's not like an ego graveyard somewhere in the ethos for all of those of us who have managed to annihilate our egos and they just go there to wither and die. It's in me. And so for me, the two aspects of transformation that have been very powerful, the first is to stop thinking of things as a battle and to recognize that we are, as our spiritual and philosophical and yogic traditions remind us, infinite, boundless, whole, divine, which means that, okay, naturally, yes, it's crowded in here with my ego, definitely. I need more space. Well, I have more space. I'm infinite, I'm boundless. And rather than trying to think about annihilating my ego, can I experience a spaciousness in which there is room for this aspect of me that was created really with good intentions Anybody who has studied child development knows about when and how the ego gets formed. And it actually gets formed for our benefit. Becomes a hindrance later on, absolutely, but it's not the bad guy. Our anger is there for a reason. It has come up for a reason. Usually to protect us from pain. But can I connect with a spaciousness in which I'm able to look at and to say, yeah, okay, ego, no problem. Hang out. You're not going to get to run the show. You don't get to be the loudest one. You don't get to dictate the drama or the script or any aspect of it. But don't worry, nobody's trying to annihilate you. You're welcome to hang out. I see you. And what I have found is very much like in The Wizard of Oz, in the I'm seeing you, when that curtain gets pulled back on the little wizard, that which had seemed very, very daunting and huge and dark and powerful and menacing actually turns out to be not much more than a small little aspect with a projector. The other aspect of transformation that has been very powerful for me is just getting out of the way. Knowing that there is an intelligence in the universe that knows exactly what needs to be done. Exactly who I am supposed to be, what I'm supposed to grow into, that knows the divinity of me, much like knows the butterflyness in the caterpillar, even though the caterpillar doesn't know it, that knows the apples in the apple seed, even though the apple seed doesn't know apples. And to have faith in that intelligence, in that wisdom, in that universe, and to recognize that the only thing that prevents me from transforming is my own ego, is my own fear, is my own attachment to status quo, to my identity as I think it is. And so if I can just get that out of the way, transformation is the nature of the universe. Everything around us keeps transforming. And if we are able to just create enough space that our fear, our anger, our attachment, those identities, we can create space from them. Into that space, grace flows. Physics tells us the universe hates a vacuum. We move from a place of low pressure, pressure flows in. Well, I've experienced the same in myself. The emptier I can become of who I think I am, into that space, transformation flows.
I'd like to make one sentence that, if you get this sentence, to me it's most important sentence. The function of the mind is to create coherence between your belief and your reality. This is very important, because as you change your belief, you change your reality. And so our lives are not pre-programmed. They're just an expression of the picture you hold in your mind. And if it's a picture of fear, I'm going to get cancer, or I'm going to get a disease, or someone's going to come and get me, the function of the mind is to take that picture and break it into chemistry, like paint, that complements that picture. And the brain's job is then to take the picture, break it into chemistry, and take that paint, that chemistry, and release it into the body, so the body becomes a matching image to what you hold in your mind. And this is where people have so much problem because they say, oh, I don't want cancer. I go, the interesting part, the words are not relevant, it's the picture that's relevant. I don't want cancer, what's the picture? Cancer. And so you could say every day, I don't want cancer, I don't want cancer. What are you doing? You keep painting a picture of cancer. What is transformation? Changing the picture. Because when you change the picture, the reality you experience absolutely changes. A very simple point, which I'll talk about tomorrow a bit, is how come your life every day could be trouble, struggle, work, and it's just so much effort to make a nice life, and you work on it. Every day you work on it. And then one day, you meet someone, and you fall in love. In 24 hours, your whole world changes. In 24 hours, what was struggle is now, oh, life is so beautiful. Oh, I'm so in love. The music is better. The food is better. The friends. I say, 24 hours, what did you do? You changed the picture. And that moment of changing the picture is the moment you change your life. So what's transformation? Eliminating the programming of the negative pictures, and psychologists will tell us 70% of the programs that you were downloaded with in your first 7 years are negative, disempowering, and self-sabotaging. And we run our lives 95% of the day from the program. So right away I can say, well, what's your life? I say 95% is based on struggle, fear, all those problems. And I say, then what happened when you fell in love? And this is the most beautiful understanding from science. You let go of the program. A program that has been running you stops. For those people that have seen the movie The Matrix, it's not science fiction. The Matrix is a documentary. Everyone has been programmed. And in the movie, they say you could take a blue pill and you stay in the program and life is just the way it always is. But in the movie, they say if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. And I say, science has now recognized when you fall in love, that is the red pill. And the moment you stop playing the program, the instant you stop playing the program, then you become the creator. And that is exactly why heaven on earth is that experience of love that comes into your body. Because love stops the program and you become the creator. And when you create in love, and your mind is now going to create from that love, your biology will be in coherence. It will match love. When you experience love, you become love, and your biology becomes open, healthy, happy, and your creative powers turn what may have been hell on earth into heaven on earth 24 hours later.
Before Tommy asks the next question, I wanted to say something about that beautiful, beautiful emphasis on love. It doesn't matter what you love. When Bruce speaks about the honeymoon effect and being in love, most of us, immediately our minds go to our romantic relationships. Should we have one that's working great for us? There's this wonderful smile on our face. Should we have one that's not working so well? We feel, ugh. Should we not have one at all? We feel even more, ugh. Here's the beauty. It actually doesn't matter what you love. Because if you really are loving, what you're loving is spirit. So I love Bruce. Now, I love his body. It's great to have him sitting next to me. It's great to hold his hand. But ultimately, what I love is his spirit. And if all you love is the body, that's called lust, not love. So if you're really loving, what you're loving is essence and spirit. And the reason I mention that is when people talk about not being able to love God or wanting to love God or wanting to experience devotion, this is all the same stuff. It's the same conversation. It's not love over here and then bhakti or devotion over there. We're saying exactly the same thing. If you really love, you're loving God. Even if that love for God, for the universe, comes through the form of your spouse, through the form of your parent, through the form of your child, your pet, the tree in your backyard, your grandmother, it doesn't matter. Because spirit is God. Essence is God. And again, we use the word God just to be short and, it doesn't matter what words you use. Energy, supreme, universe, whatever. If we really love, that's what we're loving. And that's why, for example, as he said, when you're in love, the food tastes better. Well, you're not in love with the food. Why are people who have fallen in love better tippers, nicer bosses? Right? I mean, everybody knows, the boss had a good weekend, right? Well, not with you. But why is it that Monday morning the boss comes in after a good weekend and is nicer to everyone? Because when you're in love with divinity. Through that person has connected you to the source of love. But I wanted just to emphasize this because he's given such an incredible endorsement of love. Don't worry if you're not in a relationship. Love anyone, love anything, love a tree. Love your pet. Love Ganga. Love yourself. Just love.
I am deeply honored by Sadhviji's words because I absolutely did not go to the direction that she was saying, because also it intimated it had to be in love with a person. No, gardening is love, putting your hands in the soil and raising something. Cooking a meal is love. When you put your heart into it, the food is wonderful. Painting a picture. So yes, a honeymoon does not imply that it's with another person. Your pet, your garden, whatever you do that gives your mind freedom to open up from the program, that's where the love is coming from.